Okay, we're back. And it's time to begin the horrible slog of Extended. I'm getting to the point where I almost don't consider Tomb to be extended anymore. I mean, it is, but there's just certain... If you have certain pieces of the puzzle to put together, as you've seen with this Shatter character, you can just completely bowl through Tomb. It's not quite the same for Pandemonium or the Hells. You're going to want to be careful in those, no matter what. Now, we still haven't done Zot, but I am actually really concerned about Zot on this character, for various reasons. I don't want to get teleported just like any other character. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a quick tour of the dungeon, just real fast, right? And I'm going to identify all these artifacts. And maybe one of them will have minus Tela on it because I love to wear a minus Tela item while I am in Zot. I'm not saying we're going to do Zot just yet. Oh. Alright, we didn't kill TRJ. Whoops. Can we just go ahead and kill him real quick? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and kill him real quick. Let's just... No? No Torment Scrolls. I was going to spam Torment and Lich for him and take him out real easy that way, but no such luck. What to do here? Yeah, that's not quite right. I just want to grab some of these artifacts here. Oh man. Check out this armor. And this one here too. No need for me to kill TRJ here. I actually kind of want to leave him alive anyway. Just because I think it's neat when you can steal all the loot and not have to kill TRJ. Generally, I'm not too interested in ninja strategies. But in this case, in the case of TRJ, I like it. Anytime you don't get punished for ninjaing, I like it. So it's the pan floors that I don't like, because then the things will just chase you. The pan lords will just chase you. And show up on other pan floors, show up during the orb run, so on and so forth. Okay, we'll walk away from TRJ. Oh, come on. Okay. Trying to stay in Lich form. Trying not to use up my food too much here. Can I, artifact and unidentified? Can I do that? No, I can't. I'm certain that there's like a way. There's a way to search for unidentified things. I don't know how. We've certainly got a ton of artifacts that have spawned. Like a lot. But unfortunately, they're not really what we're looking for. Now, we don't need this like right now. We don't need the minus Tela right now. We don't need it ever, really. I would just like to have it on hand. Yeah, just in case. Just in case. It'll be a little while. The thing is that if I do find minus Tela, I might go ahead and do Zot, because then I can't get bounced around by the Draconians or whatever. I have my auto fight, or not auto fight, I have run rest set to stop when my transformation is ending, which is really useful if you want to stay in Lich form. And it's also useful if you're fighting in stat form or any kind of form, and you don't want to get surprised if you're moving rather quickly. Man, looking at this by hand is a little obnoxious. I'm gonna have to, maybe I'll make a tavern account. I kind of lurk there. And there's plenty of people there who know what they're doing probably better than me. I mean, certainly there's some people there that are better at the game than me. And I'm sure that if there is a way to search for unidentified items, one of them would know it. Granted, I usually don't have this many artifacts to test through. I mean, I suppose what I could do is I could dunk some of these things into the lava or into the deep water and then clear out the list that way. I mean, that's one way to handle it. Okay, is that it? I think that is... nope, there's a couple more on depths. I promise this is not... this seems very tedious, and you may be wondering like what benefit I'm really going to get out of it. I assure you that this is worth it. Minus Tela is hugely important in Zot, hugely. Unless your character is a true powerhouse, and you know we're really strong. We're a really strong character right now. I'm not going to lie. But we're not strong enough that I'm going to forego a massive advantage like not being teleported into the orb chamber if I can avoid it. So yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. I see that the only thing that we have that matches Tela is actually a star Tela, not minus Tela, which is the opposite of what we want. So let's stop wasting time and head into Gehenna. Now I've got RF++ is why I've chosen to do this. It's really cool that I've got Lich form here. This is going to make... You're going to see me have probably the easiest extended out of any extended you've seen me do so far. I'm just going to shatter this open. I mean, being immune to torment is enormous. Now, it comes along with some other problems, like Dispel Undead. Gotta watch out for that. And my AC isn't amazing. Oh man, we should probably get Control Undead, but on the other hand, I've got Shatter. I'm gonna bail. I mean, it's like night and day, kinda, having Necromutation versus not having Necromutation. Which is not, I mean, again, you don't, I'm not saying that you need it. You absolutely don't. It's not required at all. But, I mean, if you can have it, I mean, come on, why wouldn't you want it? I mean, I've seen people on the forums arguing that it's just like, it's totally superfluous. I mean, it kind of is, but, I mean, to act like it's not an enormous power boost, I don't know about all that. Not having to worry about Torment. I mean, Torment is one of... There's really only 2 threats. There's only 2 threats in Extended that make it different from the rest of the game. That's Torment and Hellfire, which they renamed to Damnation, but I think most people find that to be kind of silly, so I say both. So, like, if you can completely invalidate one of those threats, then yeah, like I said, you're going to have to deal with Dispel Undead from certain things, but not a lot. And Dispel Undead has other ways of dealing with it, you know? Like, I could Sticks to Snakes, and you can't Dispel Undead me through the snakes. So why am I keep extending Lich Form instead of casting Shatter. Whoops. Now, I'm spending a little more time clearing this stuff out than I would be. It's not like I'm not like trying to scum for experience here. I mean, we're plenty strong. We're strong enough to finish the game easily. Even Zod, I'm probably hemming and hawing about a little too much. So the reason why I'm doing this is, I mean, I can. So why not take the safer route and shatter out a path. I mean, who does it hurt? Takes a little longer, but slow and steady wins the race, right? I was having this discussion with Demise, who is a very good player who has a longer streak than I do. I think 12. He said he got it accidentally, which is definitely possible. Especially when you're playing melee races, but lost my train of thought there. Whoops, didn't mean to shatter. Probably shouldn't try to spam shatter on things and pontificate at the same time. Oh, right, no, we were talking about game length, or it was like kind of an aside in another conversation. And my game length is massive. But then again, I'm speaking through the entire thing, and I slow down a bit to explain points and so on and so forth. But in my opinion, I think that if you want to streak reliably, especially if you're playing harder races like Fel at Octopode, things like that, but even if you're not, I think you're liable to die. You're liable to die if you don't take a little longer than average. I mean, maybe you're just like a way better player than me. That's definitely possible. But for me, I wouldn't even want to, like for example, that I played a Mibby. I have a Mibby online right now in a video where it's like an hour-long speed run. Just because I can do that, and I can do it semi-reliably, doesn't mean that I would want to do it in a streak, you know. I could probably, if I really wanted to, I could probably streak speed runs. But the thing is, okay, 1 hour is good, but I actually would consider 2 hours to be a speed run. Some of these people, they have some kind of skill that I don't have, where they can play extremely quickly and reliably as well. Like, I consider 2 hours to be a very short game. I mean, if I'm like in the zone, I can do that, but I don't think it's super reliable. Not enough that I couldn't streak 12 games doing that, I don't think. I could streak probably like 5 games on a good day. Okay, here's a Brimstone Fiend. He can Damnation me, or Hellfire me if you prefer. Let's kill him with Iron Shot. The cool thing about shattering things in here... Jeez, what are merfolk doing in here? Something weird is happening with the tables, I'm telling you. But yeah, shattering out all this stuff, it's taking a little while. But I got a nice clean path. All the walls are out of the way. Oh man. Of course the downside is we're pulling basically the entire floor. Oh boy. I'm not in Lich form anymore. Can we just punch this dragon to death? I guess we can. And don't get me wrong, I'd like to go straight to Gehenna 7. But given the choice between, you know, the option that's extremely safe and the option that's less safe, which is to say rushing towards the downstairs, I'm going to take the safe option. Normally, like under normal circumstances, I would not want to be standing around fighting. Like hell effects would bother me. But in Lich form, although I'm probably not going to do this so much in Dis, because Dis has the Petrify effect. And if I'm in Lich form when that happens, we're in some big trouble. I let the tentacle handle that because, well, I guess I keep forgetting that I have RC+, honestly, in Lich form. That's another reason Lich form is great. You can get yourself a free resistance. I was running around here. I was hoping to find a staircase that was a little closer. That's fine. Yeah, everything about this character has served to slow down my, to lengthen my average video time, to lengthen my play time. I'm not really complaining though. Because, I mean, other than that centaur that we ran into, this has been a fairly reliable, fairly safe character. Other than some, I mean, I'm talking about non-misplays. I mean, I've had a couple misplays that almost got me killed. And as I get deeper into this streak, I really need to pay more attention to what I'm doing with that, because I have, well, this is going to be the 6th win, with at least half of these, I think, being 15 rune runs. So with that said, well, I'd like to, I mean, the bottom line is I'd like to maintain the streak. And ultimately, what would be awesome is if I could, well, Elliptic is like the longest streak ever, right? He has that. I think he's a dev, some some genius professor guy. Oh. Yeah, so his streak is massive. And I would like to do more than that, but the thing is his streak is also over. I think it was like a year ago. He ended it on a Spriggan of some sort. So, so now the next closest guy is ZXC, and his streak is still going. It's at... Oh my god. Some guy on a motorcycle out there. Never understood the purpose of motorcycles. You're like way more likely to die in an accident. And you're going to annoy everybody that lives in the same neighborhood as you. Because you're essentially sitting on an engine. So, I mean, you're literally sitting on an engine. So, it's going to be a lot louder. I mean, I guess you just want to feel the wind through your hair or whatever, but just get a convertible for that and not die the first time I have an accident. Anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, ZXC, or ZXC, as he says in his videos, I think that's an Australian thing. He's got like a 33 long streak, which is around 10 less than what Elliptic has. But his is still going. But then again, he hasn't played in like a year. So, sort of on hold, you know. He could come back and extend that at any moment. But maybe I can creep up on that slowly. And we'll see. We'll see if I can do it. I've noticed that with a lot of these people, their streaks consist of mostly, but not entirely, really good races. And I don't begrudge them that. I think that's a smart thing to do when you're streaking. I'm probably going to do something similar. I mentioned the other day, I mentioned that what I'll probably do, I think my gimmick from this point forward is I'm gonna do artificers. And the reason for that is artificer is a really good start. It's also not Minotaur, so it's a little less boring in my opinion. It can lead into just about anything. You start with evocations, which is something almost any character wants. Now, I could be wrong, but I suspect that artificers are actually more reliable, for real, more reliable than berserkers. And the reason I say that is, there is a chance, albeit small, that you start your berserker, right? You're on D1, and you've got a little one-way hallway. And waiting for you at the end of that one-way hallway is a gnoll. And he's got a halberd. Maybe he has an electric halberd. So what do? How are you going to defeat that? Well, you can berserk, now you're hasted, cool. You're still, unless you picked polearm, which you probably should have. I think, yeah, berserker's got a choice of weapons, so I'm sure you can pick some kind of polearm. So you pick polearm, so now he doesn't get a hit on you first, okay, cool. And you swing on him, but you could miss. You could miss, you know, nothing stops you from missing in berserk. So now you've missed. Now he gets a hit on you. If he hits you, and if electrocution triggers, you die. Maybe he doesn't get a hit on you. Maybe you get 2 attacks because of the haste. It's a little bit up in the air. Of course, he could always get random energy and mess this plan up even more. But the bottom line is, you could get one-shotted and really have nothing you can do about it. And this is assuming, even if you're like a Minotaur Berserker, which is arguably the best Berserker, or maybe Deep Dwarf Berserker. It's hard to say after these changes. Centaur Berserker would probably be best, actually, because of the walking speed. But if you're in the hallway, and maybe they, I mean, hopefully, I hope they removed or are going to remove most of the entrances that are only one way. Like the Dungeon 1, I believe they're called entry vaults. I haven't seen anything like that in a while, so maybe they did remove them. Maybe I just haven't seen it. But if those still exist, and even if they don't, I mean, if you think about it, okay, so you get, if you get like an open, a very open entrance to the dungeon, you could still run into the halberd knoll, and now you have to run away and hope, no guarantees, hope that you happen to find a staircase down. That doesn't sound like a fun time to me. So the bottom line is, Berserker is an extremely strong start, but I don't believe it is the best start. I believe that Artificer is the best start. And the reason I say that is, you essentially start with a level 2 spell, 15 charges of it, in the form of Throw Flame, because you start with the Fire Wand, or Flame Wand I think it's called. That can miss, but provided that you have some space in between you and the guy you're fighting, plenty of attempts, more than statistically you're probably going to need. But okay, fine, let's say it's like an adder or something that has very good EV and you think you can't do it. Then you have Wand of Enslavement, arguably the best item in the game, or, you know, among them. And so if you are on D1 and there's an adder you can't get rid of, like you can't walk away from him, or God forbid he's like in a hallway or something, you can just enslave him and have him just walk away from you. No other start in the game has something so reliably useful. Warper is the only thing I would say that even remotely contends, and that's because it starts with a blink scroll, but even a blink scroll is not going to save you in some of these situations. Now, Artificer doesn't save you from every single annoying situation, or every single no-fault or low-fault death that can happen early game. The one that I always am complaining about, there are really 2 mechanics that I think are in the game that could really stop a streak with absolutely no fault of your own. And that's shafts and wands. And there's no start in the game that I can think of. There's no strategy in the game, as far as I can tell, that would guarantee that you don't get hit with the old okay, it's floor 3 and now I've got like a goblin that I let get close to me and he pulls out a wand of acid or a lightning wand. Now, you can mitigate slightly, like with the lightning wand. You can make sure you're never in a position to get double zapped. That's decent. That's a good strategy. But you're still going to get single zapped. That's enormous damage. Acid wand still does like what, a cap of 60, which is insanely more hit points than you're going to have available at that point. So the real question is, what do you do to stop that from happening? I've laid out the problem. Now, what's the solution? And I don't think there is one, unfortunately. Oh, jeez. I'm being constricted. Do I want to just fight this stuff? Kinda. Yeah, I'll just punch it. No, I'm gonna leave. Oh man, he's hasted. I'll just go stab for him. Oh, what a shame. We almost had Gehenna 7. So yeah, if you happen to be... I mean, I can't imagine that... Generally, people don't get very many... I don't see very many views on these videos, but especially on the deep into extended videos, people don't have a lot of interest in the hells for whatever reason, or pandemonium. But if you are watching this, and you have some kind of idea on how to solve those two problems, I'm all ears. But that's part of why streaking in this game is unreliable. Now, I have had some thoughts on how to mitigate further, other than just not being in a position to get double zapped. You could always play... If you wanted to take this to its logical conclusion, you could always play a race that has plus 30% hit points, so that means Ogre or Troll, fine. So now you're an Ogre Artificer or a Troll Artificer. Probably Troll is the way you want to go on this, because then you automatically get... the claws, which are a great weapon. You don't have to rely on RNG for that. Now you might be wondering, like, why not Centaur? And Centaurs are great. Can I look up hit points? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Centaur do have a little bit extra hit points, but they don't have 30%. It's hard to say, really, because Centaurs, they really are amazing. Their speed is ludicrously powerful. So you might be thinking, well, it's a no-brainer. Of course, they're the most powerful species in the game. And overall, I would agree. But in terms of stopping the two things that you otherwise can't stop, shafts and wands, the only thing you can really do about those is have a big hit point pool, you know? Because with the shafts, I mean, yeah, you would like to be quick, because then maybe you can walk away from any threats. But if you get sandwiched between two hounds in a hallway, being a centaur is not really going to help you. I mean, I guess you got the hooves for the ox attack, but for the most part, what you want there is a big pile of hit points, because that gives you more swings. And the only thing that's going to protect you from wands is hit points. I mean, technically you could evade, but I don't want to rely on that. I want to reliably, 100% of the time, be able to survive an acid blast. So that leaves you with, now you're always playing a troll artificer, right? But even then, I wonder if you can get your hit points up fast enough. If you train nothing but fighting, which is viable, by the way, your unarmed combat is going to be really awesome for at least like half, you know, up until lair, really, on a troll with zero training at all. Although you would like to have some, you'd like to get it down to like speed 1 or a little bit less. but that takes a while. So, I think. So you're training nothing but fighting, you're getting that hit point pull up even more. And then, and by the way, this is all theory crafting. I'm not going to do half these things because it's just too tedious, and nobody wants to watch me do 30 troll artificers in a row, probably. So then you're training nothing but fighting. This is the way the theory goes. And you're a troll artificer. And then on top of that, I'm not sure about this, but I feel like it's in your best interest to scum, almost, a little bit. Whoops, let's get out of here. You know, floor 1, floor 2, just to get a little extra experience. Of course, you're risking something really, really big showing up, but if you scum on a staircase, if you sit around waiting on a staircase, you can probably get away before something really nasty shows up. But the thing is, you're a troll. If you were undead or something, you could do this. But you're not going to have enough permafood to be able to do that very long, so you can't. So that idea is right out. So really, you're reliant on RNG for a number of things in this plan, but I still think it is the best one to avoid getting instant shotted, or one-shotted, I should say, by the acid wand. You're relying on RNG to give you enough experience to gain the levels to get the hit points by D3. I think D3 is where these things can show up. Man, what am I doing? I should just be pogging. I've cleared enough of this stuff that I'm just kind of fooling around at this point. He did not want to die. Alright. So yeah, that's the way the theory goes. I really don't know if that's optimal in reality. I mean, conventional wisdom is centaurs are the best race because you can walk away from anything, but with optimal play, you probably shouldn't have to. Optimal play can get you out of most bad situations, in my opinion. But optimal play cannot get you out of the wand problem. Now, there is one other thought. What you could do... Oh, man. What you could do is... You could simply, once you get to D3, you could use a combination of shouting and proper positioning to make sure that nothing ever gets close enough to Wand of Acid you if it has the ability to use a Wand of Acid. And I want to say, well, unfortunately, Beam doesn't tell me how what the range on that is, but I want to say it's only like 5. So I think that if you were like a ranged character, you could pull this off. And then what you would do is you would just jump from staircase to staircase at that point until you had enough hit points to survive a Wand of Acid. Maybe like, let's just ballpark it at 70. So at that point, maybe a centaur is ideal. You start out as like a centaur hunter, and you're gonna be one-shotting most things. You're gonna run out of arrows before too long. Oh boy, I need to... Let's do the Field of Floods. I don't want to be hellfired, but he can't do it as long as there's stuff in between me and him, and I'm 1 square away from that stuff. Oh, well, that was interesting. Did he hellfire on top of the Wraith? Okay, I was not aware that they did that. He will apparently be more than happy to hellfire me by way of hitting his friend. I should have staff formed. Oh man. Let's go ahead and magic map. This is what I thought it was, the super fortress end. Okay. We'll let the tentacle do the work here. Oh, my tentacle's over. This is okay. I do wish that we had a little more mutation. A little more mutation potion action going on here. Okay. I need my mana back, is what I need. Should have had my staff on when I iron shot at him. Alright, so provided that the game doesn't dump a bunch of brimstone fiends right on my head, I'm fairly safe just resting here. And what I might do is I might sort of steal my way back here. I'm not super familiar with this layout. For all I know, the rune could be here, or it could be back here, or it could be in one of these 3 corners. If I had to assume it's in here, and so is Asmodeus. I'm gonna rest though. And I'm just gonna fight things with my fists. Conserve mana. This guy. This guy. I don't want to shatter, really. Making a little more noise than I would like. Not really helping me. Yeah, man, Eldritch Tentacle, it seems like as soon as I go out of range now, there's some kind of glitch that makes it just go away. I'm gonna test this, actually. Maybe that's on purpose, maybe they didn't like it. If every single piece of it is out of range... Oh, there it is! Yep. As soon as, like, half of it is out of range. Fascinating. Is that on purpose? Did they not like, perhaps? They didn't like that people could just leave it and gain a bunch of experience, perhaps? It's buggy, though. Like, it's giving me debug messages, so... That tells me that whatever's going on, it's probably not intended. Oh, there's... the portal's still there. Why was I able to make another one if the portal's still there? Oh my god. Alright, let's... See, this is not supposed to be possible. You got portal on portal combat here. Something's changed. Okay, try training Necromancy and Transmutation still. I've already got Necromutations down to very, very low amount. I kind of dropped the ball on that one. Let's kill this Brimstone Fiend. Oh no. Darn. Shatter didn't kill this thing like I wanted it to. I'm going to take a step and I'm going to use the Lightning Wand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a little bit of a few glitches here is what I'm trying to say. A few glitches here with Malign Gateway. If they changed it on purpose, and this is not just a bug, I should probably report this, honestly. If they change it on purpose and it's not a bug, then what that means... Whoops, we're confused and in Lich form. That's not good. Stupid hell effects. But yeah, if they change that on purpose, I may have to downgrade Malign Gateway. It may not be my favorite spell anymore. Because half the fun of Malign Gateway is that it works even if you're not babysitting it. Trying to get full mana before I well and truly break into this place. Remember, we have minus scrolls, or not? I shouldn't say minus scrolls because that's the thing that comes along with Rue Sacrifice. That's not what I mean. We have slow scrolls. We have blurry vision. So getting out of here is not as easy as just using a blink scroll. This isn't good. Let's shatter away the Hellion and then Iron Shot this dude to death. And this dude. Oh, wow. Well, I want to shatter away the Lich. Yep. Error, failed to place monster and tentacle, connect, change. This has got to be a bug. It's very sloppily implemented. I mean, I don't know. Something's going on. This is a relatively recent thing too, so I bet if I look at the change log, I can see exactly which change. Oh, whoops. I accidentally Iron Shotted the... Oh, jeez. This is not good. Let's, shatter... Oh, man. Shatter again. I'll make... Okay, this is super bad. I can't drink. I had hoped that the Eldritch Tentacle would be a little closer. This is bad enough that I'm almost tempted to use the Ziggurat. Because Brimstone Fiend can do what, like 60 damage to me? And then there's the melee of the Balrog, and then there's these fireballs. Bolts of fire. Because remember, these things are immune to fire, so they are happy to fireball me at the same time. Even if I am super resistant, I'm still concerned. Oh man. Yeah, 60 damage on the Hellfire. Let's just pog this way. Yeah. Okay, this isn't so bad. We'll just walk away. Okay, nice. Brimstone Fiend is slowed. That changes things a lot. Let's just walk backwards one more time. Brimstone Fiend dies. Balrog dies. Tentacle saves the day. Glitched out Tentacle still saves the day. Oh boy. We still got this guy though. Another one. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to pog this way in case I need to escape, and oh boy, I do. Let's get out of here. Whoops, that's not where we want to be. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to drink ambrosia. Now I have plenty of magic to work with. I'll drink a curing. We have 36 potions, so I don't think I'm going to miss any. And we'll pop Lich Form on. Now we can survive 2 Hellfires if we need to. And I'll pog this way and I'll rest. He's following. Let's go over here. Let's pog this way. Let's make a tentacle. Which is nice enough to make some fog to block vision. Let's let the tentacle deal with it while we shoot iron shots. Nice. So that's dealt with. Could that have been smoother? Yes. Oh wow. He stopped throwing rocks at me. Oh man. What? Hold on, what? Okay, I'm mad. I cast Malign Gateway. And the hell effect was already making one, and I just didn't, I didn't notice. I gotta just walk away from it. It could paralyze me at any moment, but that one's on me. I was a little annoyed at first because I thought that it was like a bug. I was thinking, did my Eldritch Tentacle arrive angry at me? Because that would be bad. Oh my god, another Brimstone Fiend. This game does not want to give me a moment's rest. Let's Field of Floods this guy, and then we'll just punch him in the face. Come on. And this is what I considered to be probably the easiest hell for this character, so maybe I miscalculated. I don't think I did. It's possible. You know what we really need to do? Once we're done using up this dodging manual, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to get Controlled Blink. That would make this character a lot safer. That would take away one turn from the pog movement. We can trade that for Disjunction later. Let's just get away from this Hellion. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Okay, lightning rod time. That's one way to clear them out, I guess. Well, Brimstone Fiend. We'll let the tentacle deal with some of that. Let's just keep walking. Wait, what's going on here? Is he... Oh, he's indifferent now. And formerly, if it was moving around like that, if the portal was severed, which I think it is, because it's moving around, you could make another portal. There are definitely some changes happening. Like, a number of them, I think. Alright. This is honestly, I mean, I really can't complain about this because I've chosen to play in Trunk, so a number of surprises are going to happen. I probably shouldn't be playing in Trunk for streaks. Jeez. Well, we've made some forward progress. We've cleared out Staff of Fire. I like it when Crimson Imps have a staff on them. I think it's just kind of funny because they can't really do anything with it. But yeah, if I wanted to streak really reliably, I don't think I would be playing in Trunk. Oh man, this Brimstone Fiend. Let's I'm gonna cloud him. Yeah, we get ice. Excellent. I don't want to shatter again. I'm just going to make more noise. You know, I'm just going to punch the dragon. What is my tentacle doing? Is it fighting, or is it just glitching out? Whoops, I didn't mean to iron shot that. I need to slow down a bit. Okay, I guess my tentacle was fighting. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it was fighting that Iron Dragon and doing a very poor job. Oh, let's shatter. I'm certain that Asmodeus is gonna come right out and make me have a bad day. You know what? Let's go ahead and creep on in. Okay, no rune. No loot of any kind, surprisingly. You know what? I kind of want to add a Brimstone Fiend comes into view as onto my RC as something that does a force more. Just a thought. Jeez. Oh my god. I'm using up mana so quickly. You know, I really should be channeling more. Even if it is kind of crappy, it's, you know, it's the only way to regain mana that we have, other than waiting. And actually, it's even more dumb that I haven't been doing it in here. Because that means that I avoid hell effects. Alright, now let's stop looking for loot. Let's go get the orb, or the rune, I should say. Okay, it's definitely in this little room in the center. Put on Staff of Earth. We'll pog. I don't have apportation. That would make this a lot easier. let's, whoops. Let's channel is what I was trying to say before that Hellion rudely showed up. Yeah, this is way smoother. It's not ideal. It's failing a lot. But we could train some evocations to deal with that. In fact, let's do that. We're done with the book of dodging. We'll train translocations and evocations. We'll get controlled blink online. And we'll make our channeling a little better. How about that? Uh-oh. How about we get out of here? Pog's not working. I'm gonna teleport. Oh boy, so slow. Should be hasted for this. He can Hellfire too. Yeah, let's just... Oh boy, let's just walk away from this stuff. We're not done. I'm not just gonna leave, I promise. I am gonna stand on the exit in case I have to leave. Let's get back to max mana. It was a little risky with that teleport. In my experience, Staff of Energy is not terribly reliable, even with very good evocations. I don't know the actual formula, so I could be making stuff up right now. This is just what I've noticed. Even so, I would rather have more evocations and have it be a little more reliable. It just tends to fail a lot. Okay. Let's try this again. So we're going to set a Pog here. Now I could go out of Lich form if I wanted to. And haste. Let's see how many haste potions we have. Quite a lot, 6. But you know, why don't we just... Okay, that's good. I wanted to use up that Pog. Let's just... Oh man, I want to grab the rune and leave. Maybe I can get him to walk into the Pog. I think I can. Sneaky. Alright. There he is. He's walked into the Pog. I'll take the rune, and I'm going to Pog all the way over here. And you know what? There's no longer a reason for me to stick around in here. Typically, I'm against ninjaing. I don't think it's optimal. But when I say that, I'm really referring to a character that does this as a general rule in all situations and avoids getting experience. Like I've seen like a level 16 Spriggan win, things like that. I think that's just, it's nice, it's cool, it's a novelty, but I don't think it, I mean, I think that ultimately you're just going to get one-shotted at some point because of your low hit points from being under-leveled. Okay, so we'll do this next. We'll cut the video here. That took a whole hour, which is more than I wanted. And next time, we'll do this, like I said, and maybe we'll be able to speed it up a bit and do a couple hells at the same time. We'll see. Until then, I am signing out.